Introducing version 1.4, the fish pond is the most unique way of raising animals in your farm. And today I'm going to cover everything you need to know about the fishing ponds, going from the simple stuff to its less known mechanics. Robin can build you a fishing pond for 200 stone, 5 seaweeds, 5 green algae, and 5,000 gold. Once you have your ponds up and running, all you need to do is catch the fish that you want to raise and then throw them in the pond. Every fish produces a certain type of roe. The value of the roe that each fish produces is determined by this equation. And aside from roe, each species of fish can produce a set of items, with varying chances of each item being spawned in any given day. Generalizing, the higher the value of the fish itself, the better items and roe you're going to get. The one shortcoming that comes with the better fish is that they take longer to multiply and fill the ponds, which means that they take longer to make the money you invest in them back. For instance, the lava eel, which is one of the best fish you have in your pond, takes at the very least 54 days to fill the pond, that is, if you don't add any extra eels aside from the first one. You can process the roe that your fish give using a preserves jar. After 2 to 3 days, the preserves jar gives you an item called aged roe that's worth twice as much as the roe you put in. The one exception to that is the sturgeon, which the processed roe becomes caviar. That by itself is worth 500 gold a jar. Every species of fish takes a set amount of days to multiply. For example, while the blobfish takes 5 days to multiply, the periwinkle only takes 1. And if you're curious, you can check the amount of time that each fish takes to multiply in the document I left in the description of the video. It's worth mentioning here that the fish can multiply even when they're alone. But if you ask me, the best way of managing the ponds is catching some extra fish to fill it if you can. A good way of tracking how many and what type of fish you have in a pond is placing a sign on it, like you can see here. Once the fish reproduce enough to fill the pond, you have the option of expanding that particular pond. The expansion process itself is actually quite simple. Once you put in the fish in the pond, they'll start a countdown to multiply. Once the fish multiply 1 or more times and fill the pond, they'll ask for 1 or more items to increase the max capacity of their pond. The pond can be expanded until it can house 10 fish, no matter what type of fish. And of course, the more fish you have, the higher chances of receiving an item in any given day are. If you're curious about any specific fish, the items that each type of fish require to expand are listed in the document in the description. Now that we've covered the basics, I'm going to talk about some strategies and advice I have for people interested in using the fish ponds. If you're worried about money, the best fish that you can have are the lava eel, the blobfish, the ice pip, the stonefish, and even the super cucumber. And if you're planning on building a fish pond early on, the best fish you can get are the ones you can catch in the lakes in the mines, like the ice pip and the stonefish. Something that you should also keep in mind are the types of item that each fish can produce, because that can be a great way of getting some very good items easily. Generally, the more expensive fish produce better items, but that doesn't mean that the cheap fish only produce bad stuff. For example, a periwinkle can give you a rain totem, but they can also give you literal garbage. The void salmon can give you a void egg, and a rainbow trout can give you a prismatic shard, even though the chances are pretty slim. Like I said before, the fish will only ask for a set of items when expanding, so if you want to be more efficient with the expansions, you can try to gather whatever the fish wants before they actually request it, to expand the pond as fast as possible. Now, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but if you're planning on using the fish ponds to make money, you might want to stop right here. The fish ponds take quite some time to make the money you invest in them back, and they just don't give you a lot of money at the end of the day. Most people can afford to buy one in their first spring, but the thing is that you can invest those 5,000 gold in a lot of better ways, like buying strawberry or cauliflower seeds. However, that doesn't mean you simply shouldn't buy them at all. I think that they're one of the most fun annual habitats in the game, and they can give you some pretty hard to fight items if you plan ahead. I want to thank you for watching my video, and if you liked it, you might want to stick around, because I'm planning on doing a little fun experiment with the fish ponds in the next week. And if you don't want to lose that, you can subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching my video, and bye bye!